Okay, let's dive into something really, really powerful today. Picture this. The author we're talking
Yeah.
about, just 12 years before writing this stuff, he was working as a janitor.
Wow.
Yeah, tiny apartment, driving this old beat-up car, terrified it would break down, just pure survival mode, feeling lost.
That's a stark picture.
Right. Fast forward those 12 years, and he's flying a jet helicopter, flying over the building he used to clean.
Yeah.
His focus totally shifted from fear to living this massive dream.
That contrast is incredible. It really shows what kind of transformation is possible, doesn't it? Where you start.
Hmm.
It just doesn't have to be where you end up.
Exactly. And that huge leap from just getting by to really thriving, that potential is what we're digging into today. We're exploring excerpts from Awaken the Giant Within by Tony Robbins.
And our goal here, really, is to pull out the absolute core strategies from this, the most important nuggets, basically give you a kind of roadmap for understanding what drives us, what drives you, and how you can consciously grab the wheel of your own life.
Yeah, making these big ideas clear, practical, something you can actually use.
Actionable insights.
So let's start building this architecture of personal change, as the book calls it. Where does it all begin? What's the foundation?
It really comes down to one thing first: the power of decision. The core idea is simple but huge. We shape our lives through our decisions, not just our circumstances.
And the author himself had this turning point, right? He hit rock bottom, felt totally lost, sat alone, and just made a decision, a real powerful decision to change basically everything.
Yes, a commitment. He decided he wouldn't settle anymore. That was the trigger.
It wasn't just wishing, it was deciding.
Exactly. And look at the Ed Roberts example in the book. A guy facing immense physical challenges, but he decided where he was going, what he would achieve. His decisions defined his life, not his condition.
It shows your destiny really is shaped by those choices.
It absolutely is.
But, a lot of people get stuck. They don't know how to change, so they never really make that firm decision.
And that leads straight into what the source calls the Niagara syndrome. Think of life like a river.
Okay.
Most people, they just sort of drift. They get pulled by the current events, other people's opinions, fears, without ever deciding, hey, this is where I want to go.
Just going with the flow.
Until they hear the roar of the falls ahead, some crisis hits, and boom, they're going over the edge because they never chose a direction upstream.
So a lot of problems could actually be avoided by making better choices earlier on.
That's the idea, conscious navigation instead of just drifting. And the source gives this ultimate success formula. It sounds simple, maybe, but it's deep.
Okay, what is it?
1, decide what you really want, get specific. 2, take action, any action, just start.
Right.
3, notice what's happening. Is it working? Is it not working? Get feedback.
Pay attention.
And 4, change your approach. Keep adjusting until you get the result you decided on. The key thing here is you don't need to know how at the start. You just need to decide you will figure it out.
That commitment is crucial. And it's not usually one giant decision, is it? The book emphasizes that success and failure, too, they're cumulative.
Definitely. It's all those small daily decisions adding up, deciding to push a little harder today, learn something new, be kinder. They stack up.
Little hinges swinging big doors.
You got it. So decisions are the engine, but what's the fuel? What directs those decisions, often without us even realizing it?
Ah, okay, that must be beliefs. The source calls them unquestioned commands.
Exactly. This is the internal programming. Beliefs are like these powerful commands running in the background, telling our brain what's real, what's possible, what we can and can't do.
They filter everything.
They shape our perceptions, thoughts, feelings, and ultimately what we do or don't do.
And making lasting change seems impossible without tackling these core beliefs. Like, you can set a new goal, but if you secretly believe you can't do it.
You're sabotaging yourself from the start. You won't even really try. Your beliefs set your boundaries, or they open up possibilities.
So how do we even form these beliefs in the first place?
The source says they come from generalizations. We interpret past experiences, things that felt good, things that felt bad, and we create a general rule from them.
An interpretation, not necessarily reality.
Precisely. And these interpretations get backed up by references. Things we've actually done, stuff we've heard, seen on TV, maybe even just imagined vividly.
Okay.
The more emotional juice behind those references, or the more of them we collect, the stronger that belief feels. Like a tabletop getting more legs.
The tricky part is we often do this unconsciously, right?
Right?
We have an experience, interpret it, form a belief, and then forget it was just our take on it. We treat the belief like it's absolute fact.
We stop questioning them. It's like that QWERTY keyboard example.
Oh yeah, that's wild. designed to slow down typing.
Right, to stop old typewriter keys jamming. But because of maybe one questionable typing contest result way back when, it became the fastest standard. We just accepted it.
An unquestioned belief that stuck around for over a century.
It shows how beliefs persist, even without a solid basis. And the source points out a key belief difference between people who succeed and those who struggle.
What's that?
Achievers generally see problems as temporary. They have this underlying belief, this too shall pass, so they keep going. People who fail often view setbacks as permanent, like, this proves I can't do it, and they give up.
It always comes back to taking action or not taking action based on those beliefs.
Yep. All our actions are driven by beliefs about gaining pleasure or avoiding pain. And the physical impact is undeniable. Remember that medical student experiment?
With the pills,
Yeah.
the stimulants and tranquilizers.
Yeah. They swapped the contents but told the students the red pill was a stimulant and the blue was a tranquilizer. And a lot of students had physical reactions matching their belief about the pill, not what was actually in it.
That's incredible. Belief literally changing physiology. So, okay, if beliefs are this powerful and often limiting, how do we actually change them? How do we take control?
Two main ways. First, you have to question the old limiting beliefs. Really ask, is this actually true? Where did I even get this idea?
Poke holes in it.
Exactly. And second, you need to actively find and build up new references that support the empowering belief you want to have.
This sounds like where modeling comes in, finding people who already have the results you want.
And figuring out their beliefs, their strategies. The author talks about deliberately seeking out successful people, doing those power talk interviews, basically reverse engineering their mindset.
Like learning from the best. And the Marva Collins story, that's such a powerful example of using belief to lift others.
Oh, absolutely. Picking kids everyone else had written off, labeled with disorders,
Right.
and just by holding this unwavering belief in their potential, challenging them, she unlocked amazing abilities. It showed the issue wasn't the kids, it was the limiting beliefs about them.
Wow. So leadership can be about instilling empowering beliefs in others.
Definitely. And one belief the source really pushes back against is the cultural idea that change has to be slow and hard.
That it takes years of therapy or something.
Right. The book argues you can change in an instant. If you can snap into a bad mood instantly, you can snap into a good one just as fast by changing what you're doing or thinking.
So, beliefs are the commands. Decisions are the engine. What's the ultimate driving force behind it all? The basic fuel.
That boils down to the fundamentals: pain and pleasure. These two forces, the source argues, drive literally everything we do, consciously or unconsciously.
Seeking pleasure, avoiding pain. Seems simple.
It is simple, but the crucial part is what you link pain and pleasure to. And those links get conditioned early on: family, friends, school, media, our own experiences.
Okay, so the links determine our direction.
Right. And the big mistake most people make is focusing only on avoiding short-term pain and grabbing short-term pleasure.
Which usually leads to long-term pain, doesn't it? Like the classic dieting example.
Exactly. Avoiding the pain of saying no to dessert gives immediate pleasure, but leads to the long-term pain of not being healthy or reaching your goals.
Or like the real estate crash example. Short-term pleasure of quick profits, ignoring the long-term pain of an unsustainable market.
Precisely. So the strategy isn't to fight pain and pleasure, it's to consciously use them. You deliberately link massive, intense pain to the habits you want to break.
Make procrastination feel awful, not just slightly annoying.
Right. And link massive pleasure to the new behaviors you want to install. Make eating healthy feel fantastic. Make taking action feel exhilarating.
And it takes emotional intensity and repetition to really wire those new links in, right? Make the old way just unthinkable.
You got it. Which leads us perfectly into how we manage our internal world. How do we actually change those feelings, those states, on demand? This is where the mind-body connection, physiology, and state comes in.
Our internal state, how we feel mentally and emotionally right now, that affects everything, doesn't it? How smart we are, how resourceful.
Totally. The book uses the dyslexia example. Again, someone's reading ability can literally fluctuate depending on their internal state in that moment.
So performance isn't fixed.
Not at all. And the amazing insight is you can change your state instantly, like right now, by changing one of two things: your physiology, how you use your body, or your focus, what you're thinking about.
So your body actually leads your emotions. It's not just reflecting them.
Yes. If you slump, breathe shallow, look down, you're basically telling your brain to feel tired or down. But if you stand tall, breathe deeply, put a huge smile on your face.
Even if you don't feel like it.
Especially if you don't feel like it, the book challenges you. Try grinning like an idiot for 1 minute, 5 times a day for a week. It feels weird at first, but you're building a physical pathway or conditioning your brain to associate that posture, that expression, with feeling better.
Like building a neurological habit for feeling good.
Exactly. Think about kids jumping in puddles versus adults carefully walking around them.
Hmm.
Movement, playfulness, they generate resourceful states.
Okay, so physiology is one lever, the other is focus.
Where focus goes, energy flows. It's a classic saying for a reason. If you focus on your problems, guess what? You feel the problem state. If you shift your focus to potential solutions.
You activate a different part of your brain, a different state.
Right. Asking, why am I so stressed, just makes your brain find evidence for stress. Asking, how can I feel calm and capable right now, sends your brain searching for answers to that question. The questions you ask yourself direct your focus.
And this is the idea behind that 10-day mental challenge.
Yep. Commit for 10 days. Stay in a positive, resourceful state. Anytime you slip, instantly change your physiology or focus. Constantly ask empowering questions. Look for solutions.
It sounds like mental boot camp.
It is. It's building those empowerment muscles, making choosing good states a habit.
Okay, so we've got the forces,
Yeah.
pain, pleasure, the commands, beliefs, managing our state, physiology, focus. How does the brain actually wire all this physically? That takes us to the operating system, neuroassociative conditioning, or NAC.
Right. This gets into the brain's actual wiring.
Hmm.
Behavior isn't just thoughts. It's linked to physical neural pathways.
Yeah.
Think of them like neural highways in your brain.
And the more you use a pathway, repeat a thought or behavior, the wider and smoother that highway gets.
Exactly. It becomes the default route. Just thinking about changing often isn't enough because you're fighting a physical structure, a deeply grooved path.
So NAC is a deliberate process to build new highways.
Precisely. A 6-step method to consciously rewire your brain, linking pain away from the old, unhelpful patterns and linking pleasure towards new, empowering ones.
Okay, step 1.
Decide what you really want and what's preventing you. Clarity is key. Focus on what you do want, specifically, not just what you don't like. Specificity gives you power.
Makes sense. Step 2.
Link massive pain to not changing now and massive pleasure to changing now. This is creating leverage. You need real emotional weight behind it. Make the cost of staying the same unbearable and the benefit of changing irresistible. Guilt can be a quick lever, but denial just digs the hole deeper.
Got it. Leverage. Step 3.
Interrupt the limiting pattern. You have to break the loop. Stop the old behavior or thought pattern in its tracks. You can't keep doing the same thing and expect different results, right?
The definition of insanity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you interrupt it. The book suggests techniques like scrambling the senses tied to a bad memory, picture it, then make it silly, shrink the image, change the sound like scratching a record, do it enough, and the old pattern loses its power.
Okay, interrupt the old, then what? Step 4.
Find a new, empowering alternative. Nature abhors a vacuum. You need to replace the old pathway with something new that feels good, ideally even better than the old habit, but without the negative side effects.
Like in that drug addiction study.
Yes. The most successful group wasn't just the ones who stopped. It was the ones who replaced the addiction with something genuinely fulfilling: strong relationships, spirituality, meaningful work. They filled the void.
Makes sense. Replace, don't just remove. Step 5.
Condition the new pattern until it's automatic. Repetition, repetition, repetition with emotional intensity. Fire that new neural pathway over and over until it becomes the new superhighway. The book mentions reinforcement.
Like training animals.
Kind of, using variable reinforcement, rewarding the new behavior sometimes, but unpredictably, like training dolphins, makes it stick even better. Creates anticipation and makes the reward feel more special.
Interesting. And the last step, 6.
Test the new pattern. Make sure it works in the real world under different conditions. Ensure the change holds up.
Okay, that's a solid framework. Now, how do we refine the way we even perceive and talk about all this? That brings us to language, vocabulary, and metaphors.
This is fascinating. Words aren't just labels, they carry emotional charges. Think of Patrick Henry. Give me liberty or give me death. Those words weren't just information. They created a powerful emotional state, driving action.
So the specific words we choose, even internally, affect how we feel.
Massively. This is transformational vocabulary. Consciously choosing words to manage your state. Instead of saying, I'm furious, maybe you say, I'm feeling a bit peeved, or I'm slightly annoyed. Same situation, different word, different feeling.
The author tried this himself, didn't he? Changing his habitual words for anger or frustration.
Yeah, and he found it instantly lowered the intensity. It became an automatic pattern interrupt. Most of us use a tiny range of emotional words, often defaulting to really intense ones. Expanding your vocabulary gives you more nuanced control over your feelings.
And beyond single words, metaphors matter too.
Hugely. Metaphors are the mental shortcuts we use to frame situations. If you say you feel stuck, that creates a sense of helplessness.
Yeah, like you can't move.
But if you say, I'm currently searching for the right key, it implies possibility, action. The whiteout metaphor story is great. The guy visualizing his problems as blackness, then picturing applying whiteout.
Instantly changed his perspective, made it feel manageable.
Exactly. The trick is choosing metaphors that empower you and fit the context. An aggressive courtroom metaphor won't help your marriage. The author shifting his own metaphor to success coach helped him connect better.
Okay, digging deeper now. What about our core guidance system? Values and rules.
Right. Your values are like your personal compass. They're the core feelings or states you want to experience most: love, freedom, security, growth, contribution, whatever they are for you.
They're the ends, not the means. Like money is usually a means to feel security or freedom.
Exactly. And you find yours by asking, what's truly most important to me in life? List them, then rank them. The author found his initial list, explained his intense drive, but reordering it, adding things like flexibility, brought more balance.
So values are the destination. What are the rules?
Rules are your personal beliefs about what must happen or must not happen for you to feel one of your values. They're the conditions you set for feeling good or bad.
And this is where we can really mess ourselves up.
Oh, yeah. If your rule for feeling successful is, I must get approval from everyone, or your rule for feeling loved is, my partner must always anticipate my needs, you're setting yourself up for pain. Those rules are often impossible or outside your control.
Lori's story in the book illustrates this painfully. Her super complex rules for feeling okay basically guaranteed she'd feel bad most of the time.
And it even manifested physically as an ulcer. It highlights that it's usually not the situation itself, but our rule about the situation that causes the upset. Understanding someone else's rules is key to understanding them.
And these rules, they're just made up, aren't they? They're not reality.
Completely arbitrary. We create them. And we can change them. They should empower us, not trap us. Think about contradictory proverbs. Look before you leap versus he who hesitates is lost. We hold conflicting rules all the time.
So the advice is, make rules for feeling good really easy to meet, and ideally based on things you control.
Yes. Make them simple, even outrageous. The example of making wiggling your toe a rule for feeling loved is funny, but it makes the point. You can choose rules that make happiness easy and instant.
Okay, decisions, beliefs, pain, pleasure, state, NAC, language, values, rules. We're getting deep. What's the absolute bedrock, the deepest level?
It has to be identity, your fundamental sense of I am, who you believe yourself to be at your core.
And this controls everything else.
It's the master program. We have to act consistently with who we believe we are. If someone's core identity is I'm a smoker, even if they quit for a while, that identity will constantly pull them back unless it changes.
That story about the Chinese communist brainwashing is chilling, but illustrates it perfectly.
Right. They didn't start by attacking core beliefs. They got prisoners to take tiny actions inconsistent with their old identity, like writing, the U.S. isn't perfect.
Small steps.
Small steps. But then the prisoners think, why did I write that? I must believe it somewhat. They judge their own actions, and slowly their identity shifts to align with those actions. We define ourselves by what we do.
So lasting change requires shifting your identity. Not just, I'm trying to eat healthy, but I am a healthy person.
Exactly. I'm the kind of person who exercises. I'm not the kind of person who yells at my kids. When the behavior conflicts with your core identity, it becomes almost impossible to maintain.
So you need to consciously decide who you want to be.
Yes. Write it down, expand your self-concept, actively look for references that support that new identity. What you consistently identify with, you become. The author's trip to the morgue was an extreme way to find references to value life more, to expand his identity.
Okay, we have the whole architecture laid out. Now, the crucial part, putting it into practice. How do we make this real, day to day?
Because knowing isn't doing right. It all comes down to taking massive, consistent action. And that action needs to be driven by VK&I. Constant and never-ending improvement, making small improvements consistently in all areas.
So applying this,
Yeah.
say, to relationships,
It means actively reassociating pleasure to your partner daily. Don't take them for granted. Ask, how did I get so lucky? Condition those good feelings. Surprise each other to keep things fresh. Fight habituation.
And for health and physical destiny.
Train smart. Combine aerobic for endurance and fat burning with anaerobic for power. Think Stu Middleman running incredible distances using efficient methods like maffetones. Watch your nutrition. Don't poison your body. And keep moving. Getting old isn't about age. It's often about lack of movement. We can be strong and vital much later in life.
What about financial destiny? People have such mixed feelings about money.
Yeah, conflicting beliefs are common. The source stresses that wealth often comes from effective distribution. Think Sam Walton distributing goods, Ross Perot distributing information. Adding massive value like 10, 15 times what you're paid is key to increasing income significantly.
And keeping it.
Simple formula. Spend less than you earn. Invest the difference. Reinvest the profits. Harness compounding till you reach critical mass financial independence. But the Niagara Syndrome hits here too. Short-term spending impulses derail long-term wealth.
Buffett's Mr. Market metaphor helps there, seeing the market as emotional, not always wise.
Exactly. Build your financial knowledge like John Templeton did. Collect those references.
Beyond personal gain, the source really emphasizes contribution, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It argues it's essential for deep fulfillment. It gives meaning beyond just achievement or money. Mother Teresa is the ultimate example, but it doesn't have to be grand scale.
You can be a people builder every day.
Yeah, with a smile, a genuine compliment, really listening. Small acts ripple outwards. Volunteering, mentoring, community work, it all contributes to a richer life for you and others.
And managing time.
It's less about managing the clock and more about managing your focus. When you're absorbed, time flies. When bored, it drags. Prioritize tasks by importance, not just urgency, to feel real accomplishment. And that blunt reminder, killing time is suicide. Don't waste it.
Finally, the idea of a personal code of conduct.
Yeah, deciding consciously which states you commit to living in daily, cheerful, grateful, passionate, whatever resonates, and having clear rules for knowing when you're living them. Practice those states like building a muscle.
It really brings all the pieces together into daily practice.
It does. It connects the inner work to outer results.
So, zooming out to the bigger picture, how does this framework help deal with life's unfairness, the things that just happen?
The source acknowledges some things. Well, their meaning isn't clear right away. Sometimes faith is required. But often, looking back, our toughest times become our best teachers. They forge resilience, shape our character, change our direction in profound ways.
Finding the lesson, using it as leverage.
Exactly, seeing how everything can serve your growth if you choose to let it.
And that closing thought is so potent. Only so many tomorrows.
It's a wake-up call, isn't it? Love now, fully. Experience it all, the joy, the challenges. Take care of yourself, take care of others, have fun, be playful, mess up and learn. Keep improving with CNI. Set up your life to win, connect with people, but stay spontaneous.
Don't lose the ability to just be silly sometimes.
Right. It's about consciously crafting a rich, fulfilling life, growing, contributing, finding joy along the way. Not just surviving, but truly living.
So looking back on this deep dive, we've covered a lot. From the power of decision as the starting point, to how our beliefs command our actions, the driving forces of pain and pleasure, mastering our state through body and focus.
The NEC system for rewiring habits, the impact of our language and metaphors, defining our values and rules, and finally, the core role of identity.
And then how to apply it all consistently in relationships, health, finances, contribution, remembering that knowing isn't enough. Action is key, driven by that constant improvement mindset. The core message really lands. The power to shape your life is inside you. It's not about what happens to you, but the internal choices you make, your decisions, beliefs, states, and actions day after day.
So, given that our lives really are the sum total of countless tiny decisions, internal states, and daily actions, and knowing even small shifts, like changing one word or consciously shifting your focus, can ripple outwards, what's one conscious choice you can make today to start actively designing the life experience you truly want instead of just getting swept along by the current?